going on, boys and girls? This video is not going to be what you typically expect out of me. This is, well, normally I'm opinionated, but, that's a different type of story. This video is more about who I like and dislike in Linux media. Now, I use that term very loosely because the people that are actually, I would consider media, are more media and journalists than the ones that claim to be media and journalists. It's kind of funny how that works. Now, who do I mean, and who are the people that I prefer, the communities that I prefer? I prefer the folks over at Destination Linux. I prefer the people in the Tux Digital community, the Ubuntu podcast community. These, to me, are the great the Big Daddy Linux Live community. These, to me, are the communities that you want to introduce new Linux users to, because we have this bad habit and stigma that we will essentially tell users RTFM. And that's not what it is anymore. So when people tell them to go to a forum or X, Y, or Z, that is not helpful. We want people in our community. We want people in areas for people of all levels without this elitism, oh, I use Arch and actually mean it. Crap. At the end of the day, we want to welcome everybody regardless of skill level. Now you can talk about, oh, well, I've answered this question 15,000 times. Then leave it for somebody else to answer. Or point them to a thread that's already answered the question without being a fucking jackass. It's really that simple. So this is why I like Tux Digital. This is why I like DasGeek. This is why I like Destination Linux, Big Daddy Linux Live, Ask Noah. These guys are the media. These guys are the real journalists. They ask questions. They are Linux users, and they aren't giving you fluff bullshit pieces like other journalists who will write for certain journals, which LJ now stands for apparently Live Journal. Awesome. Good job there. Yeah. So at the end of the day, these guys are adding substance. They are adding to the community. They are creating an atmosphere of welcome for new users and all users of every skill level. That's something people like the quote-unquote journalists like Brian Lunduke can't say. Because the only thing Brian Lunduke adds is fluff, bullshit, nothing of substance. These other guys that I've mentioned are substance. And their substance and their nourishment for the new users, the experienced users, and every motherfucker in between. That's the difference. So when I hear people talk about, oh, one dude's got great content, or the X, Y, or Z journal, like, it's Foss got great content. Motherfucker, you don't know what good content is until you actually see it and you interact with it. Because that and those sites and those particular type of people are fluff. They're full of hot air, and the only hot air they're full of is enough to blow themselves. So, you wanted to know who I like in the Linux community for Linux journalists? Ask Noah, DasGeek, Tux Digital, Big Daddy Linux Live, and Ask Noah. That, to me, is all the Linux and all the various levels of Linux that you're going to need. And everybody else, I like the Ubuntu podcast too. But the ones that claim to be the journalists, like the certain journals and the certain Foss sites, you guys got a long way to go. Because you're fluff. You ain't no substance. So when you get to the substance, let me fucking know. Because I don't see that happening anytime soon. Because we all want another Live Journal.